I was on top of the world, of at least as high as any 7th grader, soon to be 8th grader, could feel. I had just completed another year of school. I was about to be the top dog once again. I was ready for the 8th grade, and then one day, I wasn't. At the end of each school year, we would have an awards day. On this day, many students would come to school on their Sunday best and be recognized for their accomplishments and achievements throughout the year. 7th grade me wasn't about that. I was finding my sense of style, and on this awards day, I wore a green polo shirt and my brother's jeans that he had grown out of. I thought I was cool. I thought I looked good. And at this time in my life, I didn't think I cared what people thought of me until it all changed. It was the night of the last day of school. I was at home and the phone rings. No one ever calls me, but tonight, some anonymous girls wanted to talk. I remember saying hello and expecting to hear my best friend giggling on the other line. Unfortunately, that wasn't the case. These two girls on the other end of the line began to tear me apart. I wasn't expecting this phone call of sudden hate. I stood in silence, not saying anything at all, as they asked, "What type of girl would wear what you wore? Do you even care what you look like? I can't believe you're okay with looking like this." And then they hung up. I didn't know what to think. I didn't know what to do. It was as if all of a sudden I had no direction in my life. Was I really this on top of the world, soon to be 8th grader? I never told anyone about the phone call of the night of my last day of 7th grade, and I never found out who those girls were, but what I learned from this experience has changed my life forever. At first it was hard. I had the constant thought of, what are people gonna think of me? I wanted to believe those girls who seemed like their whole life was put together. I was comparing myself to everyone. It was a constant, why isn't my hair like hers? Why can't my teeth be naturally straight? Why do I have freckles? Why can't I be as skinny as her? I was seeking validation, that maybe if I changed one thing about myself, then someone would notice me. But when was it a problem that I wasn't being noticed? I had great friends and an incredible family. I had my support system, but this wasn't enough. It was as if all of a sudden I need the validation from the cool kids. But there's something I learned. You don't need the validation from the cool kids. You don't even need validation from anyone, because being yourself and being comfortable in your own skin is all you need. I had to change the way I viewed myself. I had to look at myself differently. I had to look at my strengths. I had to look at my worth. I had to look at myself as a child of God. Patricia Holland, an author and a previous first counselor in the General Young Women's Presidency with the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, said, "If we spend our time and energy worrying about being too tall or too short, or about our freckles and warts and big noses, then I fear we're doomed to certain defeat. The person who is engaged in such a constant internal fight has little energy and power left to win the outside battles. You can't afford to be your own worst enemy." I had to focus my energy towards positivity. I couldn't let the words of someone who didn't know my worth decide my thoughts and feelings. This was hard. I was so worried for so long about what others thought of me that I forgot what is it like to just think of myself, to just be worried about how I felt, and during this time, I didn't feel like myself. I had doubts, and I continue to have doubts to this day, but it doesn't mean that I should be stuck. I should keep moving and always keep moving, despite what others may say or think, because you can't let the judgment of others stop you from being you. Because if you do, you're no longer yourself. You're no longer the freckles on your face, the way you laugh, the way you get excited over ice cream, the way you feel you're someone everyone else wants you to be, and that isn't where you belong.